Our show. The first speaker for the second half of our show is going to be Dipanwita Bhattacharyya. It was a pleasure for me to curate her story. Let's welcome Dipanwita on stage. Many of us in the community have seen you on stage, but in a completely different capacity. We have seen lots of dances from you over the years. You are a dancer, you love that form. What do you think about storytelling? Are you enjoying it? Is this your first one? What's this experience all about?
Yes, it's my first one. In this format, yes. I mean, when we do our dance productions, as most of you have seen, we tell a story. So it's just a different form of expression for us, and it's my first time telling a story. So, but I've enjoyed the process a lot.
That's great to hear. As I said, I was going to ask all the pieces that I curated, all the speakers, the same question which relates to every one of us. And that is, when you decided to leave your homeland, to emigrate, and you told your mom about your decision, what did she tell you about it?
Do you remember that story, the book by Dr. Seuss? It's All the Places You Will Go. So that used to be one of my favorite childhood stories. Not stories, it's a poem. Favorite childhood books. And so when I touched my mom's feet, she gave me that book, a copy of that book one more time, and said that, so your mom is waiting, but fly as high as you want, but then come back home. Well, I'm still in flight.
That's right, and that's probably true with many of us in the audience here. So Dipanwita is going to tell us a story that's very personal to her. You know, we all think about our parents, but lots of us came into this country and became parents ourselves. Dipanwita's story touches a little bit on that side of the story. Hope you will enjoy it. Thanks, Dipanwita.
So, you know, I was a child who couldn't sit still. And one of my earliest childhood memories is of me crashing through the roof of my uncle's garage. What was I doing there? Just reaching for the stars, because that was just the way I was. Stitches, cuts, scratches, bruises, you name them, I had them. And my mom would be in constant panic mode. So much that the others would tell her, calm down, bhai pash na, she'll be okay. Boro hole ar erokom uronchandi thakbe na. But guess what? In my final years of high school, I found myself this best friend who actually fueled my weirdness. Tall, gangly, and forever cheeky. Dipanwita Bhattacharyya was the twiddle-dum to my twiddle-dee. Yes. Fast forward 17 years, and here we were. Dipanwita and I had made the US our home. He had completed his postdoctorate and me my second master's, and we were both pretty darn busy with our careers, his guitar, my dancing, and keeping up with our nerdy little monster who just turned 2. I forgot to mention that. Yes, we call him Bono. Yes, we are very big fans, but he does have a formal name, Ayush, but Bono was dearer to the heart. No, Bono was a very curious child, so he always needed to know where things came from and where things went. Thankfully, he hadn't yet asked me where he had come from. But what about all his stuff? Books, pencils, shoes, toys. And most often, though, he didn't like my normal explanations at all and would come back with something quite outlandish, but infinitely more interesting. Age 4. Mama, I'll eat my veggies if you can answer this math problem, okay? If 3 cats are chasing 1 dog in the afternoon, what time is it on the clock? Huh? 3 after 1 p.m. No more veggies! Age 6. Bono, can you please turn the TV off? 5 minutes go by, not a sign of him. Bono! Mom, he just won't give it back. Who? What? The boy who's watching TV with me had the remote, and he just won't give it back. How do I turn the TV off? You get it, right? that imagination needs some keeping up with. So yes, my hands were full. Now, as Bono grew up, he saw that his dada was often gone for long periods. So, being the child he was, he demanded to know where dada went and what he did. But how do you explain marketing to a 6-year-old? Because that's what Devali did. But still, Devali tried. And from the wide-eyed wonder on the boy's face, he figured Bono got it. About a week or so after this conversation, Devali got an email from Bono's class teacher, inviting him into class to speak to everybody about the kind of work he did. Bono was super excited. So were we. Now, everybody who knows Devali knows that he's an all-in kind of a guy. So, for the next 10 days, every single day, I saw him making and remaking those slides, adding pictures, videos, animations, some Pharrell Williams even. This man was on a mission to make his son happy. But you know, as we got closer to the day of the presentation, he started behaving in a very strange manner. I still remember the night before, I walked into his office and saw him slamming the fist on the desk. Hochena, hochena, he kept mumbling. Hochena, what's wrong? I asked. It's this presentation, it's not working, he said. Well, I thought maybe he was struggling to explain marketing to a group of 6-year-olds. I could see how that could happen. So I pulled up a chair and tried to help him through it. Ran through the slides back and forth quite a few times. I could find nothing wrong with him. These are great, I said. Are you crazy? He literally barked back at me. Where is the story? It's not working. There was a look in his eyes that made me reach out and grab his hands. Why are you so stressed? I asked. Because I want Bono to be proud of me. Because I want his face to shine when he introduces me to his classmates. What makes you think he won't? I asked, still not getting it. Because he hasn't seen our struggle, Dipanwita. We came into this country with 2 suitcases. And our dreams, that was all we had. But he doesn't know that. All he has seen is the suburban utopia. Not the bleary-eyed hours I spent in the lab. Or that rundown car we scrounged to buy. Or the joy, the sheer thrill of my first pattern that was accrued. He's saying none of that. How will he even relate? You know, at that moment, I realized that the slides were not the issue. Because in his head, this presentation had become entirely about us. Our journey in this country, how hard we had worked, how far we had come, our dreams. Yours. Would Bono feel proud? Or would he? I felt myself choking up. But I knew that somehow I had to get this man to calm down. So I took his laptop away and packed him off to his little music studio in the basement so he could play his nerves to sleep. The next morning, he woke up bright and early, picked out his favorite blue shirt, and ironed his pants until they had a perfect knife edge crease. Prepped and preened, we went to Bono's school and met up with Miss Gillies, Bono's first grade teacher. We talked about this and that, how Bono was doing in class, if she'd run the Boston Marathon again, until finally we came to the topic of Devali's talk. Dr. Bhattacharya, we're so thrilled to have you with us today. We've never ever had a parent come into class to talk about shoes. Shoes? We exclaimed together. aren't you going to talk about shoes? Why would I talk about shoes? Don't you sell shoes? I mean, Ayush said that you were a shoemaker, and so he assumed that you would be talking about selling shoes. You know, he's told the whole class about it. The look on Devadip's face at that moment was priceless, as he realized that there was a bunch of kids, 6-year-olds, in the next room, waiting to hear how Ayush's dad makes and sells shoes. He looked at the flash drive in his hand with the slides on marketing, and then at me. Opened his mouth, closed it back up again, and I couldn't hold it in any longer. My own checkered past flashed by in front of my eyes, and I just doubled up laughing. Can you imagine? But after a little while, when Miss Gillies had helped us avert disaster, and the whole class learned how Ayush's dad travels around the world selling cutting-edge mass spectrometers, I asked Bono, why did you say your dad sells shoes? Because shoes are important. They keep us safe, give us support, and protect us from germs. And Dada does all that for me. At that moment, I wish I had captured, somehow, the look on Devadip's face. And it was this mixture of wonder, pride, satisfaction, joy. It was as if Bono had waved a magic wand, and all his disappointment melted away. At that moment, all the hard work, the adjustments, uprooting and rebooting of ourselves seemed worth it. He was his son's hero. That was all that mattered. Thank you.